Mark had been delivering pizzas for almost 3 years, and most nights were the same. Dim streetlights, quiet neighborhoods, and the smell of warm pizza filling his car. But one Friday night around 11:40 p.m., he received an order that felt different. The address was on the edge of town, a place he had never delivered to before. The road leading there was long, narrow, and surrounded by thick woods that swallowed the light from his headlights. His GPS kept glitching as he drove deeper into the darkness, the signal bars on his phone dropping to 0. When he finally reached the address, he noticed the house looked abandoned. The windows were dark, the paint was peeling, and the porch light flickered like it was about to die. Mark double-checked the receipt. 2 large pepperoni pizzas and a bottle of soda. Someone had definitely placed the order. He stepped out of the car, the cold night air strangely quiet around him. No crickets, no wind, nothing. Just silence. As he walked up to the door, he heard something faint from inside the house. Slow footsteps. He knocked once. Nothing. He knocked again, louder this time. The door slowly creaked open on its own. Mark felt his stomach tighten. "Hello.
Hello?
Pizza delivery," he called out, trying to sound confident. The hallway inside was completely dark.
Pizza delivery.
Suddenly his phone buzzed. Was a text from the number that placed the order. It read, "Leave the pizza and walk away. Do not look back." Mark stared at the message, confused. He placed the pizza on the porch table and turned around, trying to ignore the uneasy feeling crawling up his spine. But as he walked back to his car, he heard the door slam behind him. Instinctively, he turned his head for a split second. In the cracked reflection of his car window, he saw a tall figure standing on the porch, holding the pizza box and staring directly at him. When Mark turned around fully, the porch was empty again. The next morning, curiosity got the better of him, and he searched the address online. The house had been abandoned for over 10 years. According to local news archives, the last person who lived there had mysteriously disappeared one night. After ordering pizza, Luis worked the late shift at a small pizza shop downtown. Around 12:30 a.m., just before closing, a final order came through for an apartment complex across the city. The order seemed normal at first, 1 large cheese pizza and garlic bread. But the delivery instructions were strange. Bring it to apartment 407. Knock 3 times. Luis grabbed the order and drove to the building. When he arrived, the complex looked half empty. Several windows were dark, and the hallway lights flickered with a faint buzzing sound. He walked through the lobby. He noticed the elevator was out of order, forcing him to climb the stairs. Each step echoed loudly in the empty stairwell. By the time he reached the 4th floor, the silence felt suffocating. Apartment 407 was at the very end of the hallway. The door looked old, scratched, and slightly crooked in its frame. Luis knocked 3 times just like the instructions said. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then he heard whispering from inside. It sounded like more than one voice. But the words were impossible to understand. The door slowly opened about 2 inches. A pale hand reached out and grabbed the pizza box without a word. Luis waited for payment, but the hand simply pulled the box inside and the door slammed shut. Confused, Luis checked the receipt again. It said cash on delivery. He knocked again. No response. Then he heard a quiet laugh from inside the apartment. Suddenly his phone buzzed with a notification from the pizza shop. His manager was calling. "Luis, where are you?" the manager asked. Nervously. "Apartment 407, Luis replied. There was a long pause. Then his manager said something that made his blood run cold. "That's impossible. That apartment has been sealed off for years. There was a murder there, and nobody has lived in it since." That. Inside the dark apartment, one of them whispered softly, "You forgot the garlic bread." Emily had just started her job as a pizza delivery driver and still felt nervous about driving alone at night. One evening around 10:50 p.m., she received a delivery order to a place called Old Quarry Road. The address didn't appear clearly on her GPS, but the map showed a faint road cutting through a rural area outside the city. Thinking it was just a signal issue, she followed the directions anyway. As she drove further away from town, the houses disappeared and the road turned into cracked pavement surrounded by empty fields. Eventually the GPS said, "You have arrived." But there was no house, just a rusted mailbox standing beside a narrow dirt path leading into the trees. Emily checked the receipt again. The instructions said, "Walk down the path. Bring the pizza." She hesitated, but the order had already been paid online, so she grabbed the pizza box and walked down the path. The trees were so dense they blocked the moonlight, and the air smelled damp and cold. After about 30 seconds of walking, she noticed something strange. The path behind her looked longer than before, like the road had moved further away. Suddenly she heard a voice from somewhere, deep in the woods. "You're late," it said. The voice sounded calm but distant, like it was echoing through a tunnel. Emily froze. "Hello," she called out nervously. No answer. Then her phone buzzed. A new message appeared from the customer number. "Keep walking." Her heart pounded as she slowly stepped forward again. But the deeper she went, the darker the forest became. After a minute she realized something terrifying. The path was gone. She was standing in the middle of thick trees with no clear direction. Panic set in as she tried to retrace her steps, but every direction looked the same. Then she heard footsteps circling her in the darkness. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Something was moving around her, but she couldn't see it. Her phone buzzed again. The final message read, "Thanks for bringing the pizza. You can stay now." Emily ran blindly through the woods until she finally reached her car. When she looked at her GPS again, the road called Old Quarry Road had completely disappeared from the map, like it had never existed at all.